Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. Here we are wrapping up this month of August. How has August felt for you? This is our usual Monday check-in for our mindful motivation for mindset mastery. And if you've been here before, you know that I'd like to just share with you and kind of riff on some ideas about what moon phase we're being affected by in the week. And then we'll pull some cards to kind of help set the tone and really make the best of these energies. Because this week, like I said, this is the last week of August. And it's been a month of really sort of integrating the insights and the learning and the evolution of our own core being that came about in July. And so now this is about really following and tapping into the truth of you. As you know, if you've been here before, you know that I have a whole piece around helping you really get in touch with what is the truth of you. So here's the thing, that's moon phase that's going to be affecting us it's one of my favorites. It makes me feel lit up and very excited when we have a blue moon. Now, a blue moon is where we have two, so it's a blue full moon. So super full moon, super full blue moon, which is happening in 2 days' time. So we're already in the energy of this. I've said this to you before, that we get affected by particularly new moon and full moon phases 2 days before and 2 days after. So you might start feeling a wee bit of these energies. So it's in the sign of Pisces. So it's about very much really getting in flow with our own abundant nature, our own creativity, our own ways of being truly who we really are. So how does that land for you? And of course, with it being a super full moon, it amplifies these energies, but then also it being a blue moon, I was reflecting on this yesterday, the idea of a blue moon. I remember as a child, my parents sort of saying, this, you can do this once in a blue moon, and sometime never kind of peace. And I was so excited when I found out what a blue moon really was. It's a very auspicious, up-leveled, energetic piece. And so that's what we're really being enveloped by. The creativity, the like I say, the flow of who you truly are. So see how that lines up and what that sort of speaks to you. The other part of a full moon in particular, full moons are kind of like the end of a creative cycle. It's the realization of what you've been working on. So we work on things from new moon to full moon, but then we also work on things from, so with this being the full moon in Pisces, for the last 6 months, you will have been working on things. So it would be from the new moon in Pisces to the full moon in Pisces. The other thing that's really important about this is that Pisces, being the last sign of the zodiac, it carries the power of all the other signs. So it's kind of like the culmination. So it kind of further amplifies that aspect of the full moon being the resolution, the manifestation, the end result. And in that aspect too, there is a fair bit of letting go that comes through when we do that, right? So it's about what habits, patterns, ideas, mindsets work and align with what you're creating, where you're headed, and what don't. And the ones that don't, you can have a sense of appreciation and bless it and let it go. So that's the vibe for this week also. If I ever say anything in these sessions that sort of trigger you or give you a challenge of some degree and you need a wee bit more support or guidance or help, just put it in the comments below or message me directly. My intention with these sessions is to help you not only become the master of your own mindset, but also to really deeply get in touch with your intuition. And that's something that's highly aspected with this super blue full moon in the sign of Pisces is to really, really dial that up a notch. Tapping into your intuition, trusting it, accessing it. And you know, I've shared this question before, is one thing that you could do is when making a choice or a decision or looking at different pieces that you do or don't want to do, pause for a wee moment. Put your hand over your heart. Nice deep breath, and then check in. How does this make me feel about myself? And allow that guidance to kind of help you navigate, make choices, because you want to follow the ideas of it makes me feel aligned, it makes me feel connected with my heart energy, it makes me feel connected with my higher self, or it makes me feel discombobulated, it makes me feel anxious, it makes me feel wary. Those are your guidance aspects that can be used to navigate choices and align with what's best and right for you. I trust that makes sense. Like I said, any questions or comments about any of that ideas, let me know. So as I've been talking about that, and particularly with this idea of tapping into our intuitive nature, maybe we can just kind of focus on that. What can we let go of in order to get more deeply into following our own intuitive nature, our intuitive guidance? And this is pretty fascinating. The card that's come up for us is the need for control. You know, that's actually a very interesting one. Does that come up for you? That kind of, that to me speaks of like a real rigidity, like a real, oh, I can't trust somebody else to do something for me, or I can't allow my intuition to show up, even if you don't know the answer right in this moment. When we trust our intuition, we allow ourselves to get into that flow and say, okay, I'll trust that I will recognize it when it shows up. However, if we're feeling like, no, I have to control everything, or I have to get the answer right now, or I have to, then it's kind of, maybe we're going to end up going against our own nature. So feel into that. Where does that come up, and how does it block you from really accessing your inner wisdom, from really listening? When I talk about listening, listening is about, sometimes it's thoughts just land in your mind. Sometimes it's a feeling that shows up. Trusting your emotional guidance. Very important. And like I say, sometimes when we ask our inner wisdom, you know, what's the best choice? There's nothing happens. You might ask, what's the best choice? Give me a sign. And then there's crickets. Well, actually the crickets might be a sign in itself too. But to just not get impatient, allow and trust your own inner guidance. It's always there. But sometimes we need to get out of that overthinking. That can come from need for control also. Okay, so like I said at the beginning, I use 4 decks of cards for these sessions with you. I'm just shuffling my tarot cards to see what tarot card will offer us some guidance or support or best ideas to navigate these energies as we wrap up this auspicious month and get ready to step into a new month. Also, this is perfect. So if we let go of the need for control, then maybe we can get into 9 of Cups energy, which is such a beautiful energy of celebrating that you have everything that you need within you. It's about celebrating and sharing from the heart, finding your joy, finding the things that light you up. So you know I said about that question, how does this make me feel about me? Well, the 9 of Cups there is saying, well, it makes me feel joy-filled, it makes me feel connected, it makes me feel vibrant, it makes me feel good. So there's your key, that's when you know that you're in flow, that you are listening to your inner guidance, because it feels good. Like I said, I trust that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And also, if you're interested, you can post in the comments below. I have a course that's available to help you get deeper in touch with your own intuitive guidance. It's a complimentary course, and it's just kind of following on from some of these ideas that I'm suggesting about getting in touch with your inner guidance, with your inner wisdom. such a crucial part to help get in touch with the truth of who you are. So like I said, put it in the comments below. I'm happy to put the link for that later. Excellent. So the next deck of cards that I use is Healing with the Angels. And this is beautiful. The first card that's come up for us is Celebration. That actually just totally follows on beautifully from that Nine of Cups from the tarot. Celebrate. Do you pause? Do you celebrate your achievements, your accomplishments, how far you've come? Do you pause and just celebrate and just allow yourself to follow those things that make your heart sing? And can you make that idea or that way of following your intuitive guidance, following those things that make you light up and making that your new love? Could you be the focus of your new love? And in doing that, then we get to find our own sense of balance. You know, all of this conversation that I love to have about mindset mastery and about accessing our truth, it's all about telling yourself the truth about what feels balanced best for you. And sometimes that means, you know, putting a bit extra energy in something and then retreating. What is your creative cycle? And are you finding your rhythm, your balance? It's about finding it so that you get to navigate choices and see that. I was thinking, well, that's a Pisces type energy too. That swimming forward, navigating, making the choices, aligning with what makes you light up. Not listening to the chatter of your head too much as well. That's a very important part too. All right, lovelies. In a moment, we'll wrap this up. But before we do, I'm just shuffling my Liberate Your Inner Truth cards to see what flavor are we going to wrap this session up with this week. Take a nice deep breath. There's lots of pieces coming through for us on this session today. Oh, perfect. This is a good reminder. The card that's come up is I am capable. You are capable. Do you feel that? Do you acknowledge that? Do you celebrate that? Do you find balance with that? But let me read this out to you. So I am capable. I am doing my best today, and that is good enough. Today is going to be an awesome day. I am capable of achieving my goals. I am proud of myself. That really beautifully kind of ties those angel cards together beautifully to acknowledge that. Remember to acknowledge yourself in those ways. Much love to you. I wish you a beautiful week ahead. Like I said, if you need some support or guidance, put it in the comments below or message me directly. Much love to you. I'll be back here with you again next week.